In this video, we're going to look at some basic concepts on geometry, finding area, perimeter for the circle to be circumference. Later on, we'll get into more advanced topics. So if you're taking geometry, say this fall, high school, or maybe you're in the 8th grade, these are things that you should already know. So this would be like a review. So we have the area of a rectangle is equal to the length times the width. Of course, for the square, the length and the width are the same. It'll just be L times L, or L squared, or if you call the side S, S squared. For the perimeter, we simply add the lengths. For the perimeter, we just add the length of the sides. So if you got a regular rectangle, the length is L, the width is W, it'll be 2 times L plus 2 times W. And for the triangle, the area is 1/2 the base times the height. So we need to know the base and the height. Now there's other formulas for finding the area of a triangle that involve trig. Heron's formula doesn't involve trig, but you have to know all 3 sides. So here we're just looking at the basic concepts. For the perimeter of a triangle, simply add up all sides, A plus B plus C, if you know them. The area of the circle is given by pi r squared, where r is the radius of the circle, and pi is approximately 3.14 to 2 places. The circumference, equivalent to the perimeter. If you take the circle and just cut it and stretch it out, it's given by 2 pi r, or if you use the diameter times pi. The diameter is equal to twice the radius. So let's look, say, at a rectangle. One side is 7. Let's say the other side is 5. I want to find the area. Length times the width. Right here we get 35. And I didn't give units, so I'll just say units squared. That could be feet squared, centimeters squared, meters squared. But that's it for that one. Very straightforward. But that's something that you need to know even before you take a regular geometry course. So if I want the perimeter, that's the distance around. This will be 2 lengths of 7. That's 2 times 7. And 2 widths of 5. So this is equal to 14 plus 10. Add those up, we get 24. And these are linear dimensions here, so this is units. 24 units, not squared units. Area is square units. Perimeter is just regular units, linear units. Now for a square, it's pretty much the same. The length and the width are the same, so it's just a matter of doing the same thing, multiplying those out. So for the area of a triangle, we want area is given by 1/2 the base times the height. So let's suppose we start off with a right triangle. So this is, say, 90 degrees here. You got a right triangle. You can say this is the base here, and this distance here, perpendicular distance, is the altitude. Or you could call this the base and this the height. It doesn't matter, because you're going to be multiplying these together anyway to get the area. So the area is going to equal to, and let's say they give you the base to be 3 units, and the altitude for this side here would be 4 units. Area is given by 1/2 that product, so it's 4 times 3. It's 12. Then half of that is 6. So here it is square units, its area. 6 square units. Now if you had a triangle that is not a right triangle, then you got to pick a vertex here, and we have to know the distance. Say for this altitude here. If it's not a right triangle, but somehow I have to find this distance here. This will be an altitude. Again, call that h. And then this over here would be your base. So that has to be given for you to be able to find the area. Now for some triangles, if you know the length of all the sides, you can find the area using Heron's formula. A little bit more advanced here. In some cases you can use trigonometry, but for these basic examples, I'm trying not to use trig. For now anyway. Okay, so we can find the area of a triangle if we know the base and the height one way. We can find the perimeter by simply adding the sides. Now for a circle, say I have a circle, let's say that's the radius, and we'll say the radius is 5 units, centimeters, inches, whatever. I want to find the area of that. Just use this formula. Pi times the radius squared. So 5 squared is 25 times pi. And this is your area. That's your exact answer. This again, this area, so this is units squared. If you want an approximation, then you can use your calculator and multiply 25 by pi, which is approximately 3.14, and round it out to whatever places they tell you. But if they tell you they want an exact answer, then this is what you want right here. Now if you want the circumference of this with the same circle, then you can use the diameter or the radius. The diameter is twice the radius, so the diameter here is 10, so I can use either this formula here or this formula. Doesn't really matter. I just used the first one there. So C is equal to 2 pi, and R is 5. So 2 times 5 is 10 pi. And this is the exact answer. Again, this is area, so this is units squared. So first you learn, again, just to apply the formula, given the data. In some cases you might have to do a little work to get the data you need to find the area or the circumference or the perimeter, whatever you're looking for. But you need to know these formulas. And of course, there's a lot more formulas coming up if you take any geometry class in high school or college level. And then sometimes they'll tell you something like this. Let's say you have a circle, and let's say the area of the circle is 20 pi. Say this is given. Area of circle is equal to 20 pi. Find the radius. So again, you put it together and say, okay, well, I know the formula for the area of the circle. A is equal to pi r squared. So using this formula here, A is 20 pi. You just plug it in, and that should equal to pi r squared. And you solve for r. Divide this out, divide this out. So we get r squared equal to 20. We want to find r. So we take the square root of both sides. The square root of r squared is r, and the square root of 20. We leave it like that for now. Then we always want to simplify radicals. Remember that from regular algebra. So this is 20 is 4 times 5. The square root of 4 is 2, so that comes out. So I'll just say r equal to, and the 5 stays under the radical, 2 square root of 5. That's your answer. Now if they ask you for the diameter, then we know the diameter is twice the radius. So then d would be equal to 2 times this, which would be 4 square root of 5. And they could give you that similar problems with when you're dealing with a triangle or a rectangle. A lot more formulas coming up. But for now, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.